Hey, welcome back to Carnivore's Corner channel. Today we're going to be doing a chuck roast. I'm going to be showing you how to get it perfect every single time. Now, the chuck roast is a flavorful cut of meat that comes from the shoulder of the cow. There's a good amount of marbling, which makes it juicy and tender if you cook it properly. Another reason to be using a chuck roast, it's very versatile. There's many different ways to cook it, but today we're going to be doing the sous vide method. Also, it's very affordable compared to other premium cuts of meat, so it makes it great for feeding a large crowd or family. So here we're getting a nice generous amount of salt covered all around the chuck roast. Then we're going to be dry brining this in the fridge uncovered for 3 hours. Ideally, you'd like to go overnight, but I'm just going to do 3 hours on this one. Now, the sous vide method allows for cooking meat in a water bath at precise temperature for a specific amount of time. This allows for precise temperature control, resulting in perfectly cooked food every time. It also allows for consistent results every single time. So here I am, I pulled it out of the fridge. I'm just getting it into a bag that I'm going to vacuum seal. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, don't worry. You could use a Ziploc bag and just use the water displacement method. So we're going to put it in at 132 degrees for 24 hours. So here's a closer look at the equipment I'm using. It's just a dual sous vide and this container. If you don't have a container, you could just use a pot or anything else that'll hold the meat. Here we are after 24 hours. Got my cast iron getting up to temperature. We're just going to get this down on the cutting board, get it ready for a sear. Before we get the rub on, I like to cut this right along this line of fat right here and separate the two muscles. And this right here, that's your money piece right here. Next, before we get the binder and the rub on, you're going to want to dry your meat off all around. This is going to help with the sear. If you're not getting a good sear, it's probably because your pan isn't hot enough or you didn't dry it off. So let's take the extra time and we'll dry it off and get a real nice sear on this. We're just going to use some yellow mustard. We're just going to rub it all over. And we're going to put our rub on. That's going to help the rub stick. Don't worry, you won't even taste the mustard on there. I just made a rub up of some salt, pepper, a little bit of granulated garlic, some onion powder, a little smoked paprika. Use what you got or use whatever you like, though. Get some avocado oil down in a nice hot pan. I like using avocado oil. It's got a really high temperature for the smoke point. Here we are. We're just getting a nice sear on these, and shouldn't take much longer than a minute per each side when you're doing a sear properly. Don't forget about getting them edges too. Flip them over. Get it all around. I brought these over the cutting board. Let's see how we did. Let's see what the inside looks like. Just take your knife, cuts right through like butter. Check that out. Look at that, perfect medium rare. Look at that edge to edge. It's got that nice sear on it. You know this is going to be good. Just cut a couple pieces up here, and I'll show you all the way through. It's cooked perfectly. That's sous vide method. Now you just cut slices off and plate it up and have like a nice steak dinner with this. But stick around for the next video. I'm going to show you 3 sandwiches that we're going to make out of this. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that out.